Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Wardrobe here. I just want to get that and get me off the screen and get this guy up here. It's small. I'll zoom in here just a minute. This is end of turn 10 of a 4-turn. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 turns. So I just ended turn 2 in this playtest game of Stuck in the Valley, Saint Lô, 30 July, 29th Infantry Division against Germans. So it's a really cool game, a really cool scenario. The Germans own all the control markers at the beginning. The US gets 8 points per each they take. The Germans get those back if they take them back. The Germans have held one. The Germans also get points for eliminating units, 3 for tank and 1 for US. So the US took a bunch of control. I probably should have revealed my German quicker so they started costing more points and stuff. That's lesson learned perhaps for this particular scenario. The Germans start with no one on board and then have to reveal a couple of tanks whenever they want. But anyway, you see the previous videos on it. But I just want to you can see the line that's here for the Germans. I just want to talk about real quick what's happening here. The Germans now have an initiative of 7 here, and they reseeded the thing. We're going to start turn 11. We got 2 at 1, 3 at 2. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep. So that's a lot there. They can do a lot for low points. However, their 1 markers are out right now. By the way, they have 4 command tokens to the US's 2. No. To the US 1. Yeah, to the US 2, but it's a 1 right now. Wow. Yeah, they have 2 because they lost 2 permanently. I almost think you should get some victory points for that. But so that, I think that could end up hurting them because it's going to cost the US a lot to do stuff. Like any of these US guys over here, I don't know. There was just tons of firing here and not a whole lot happening. As far as defense, though, the Germans did suppress the veteran here, so he can't fire now, so that helps. Well, that was just that I just showed here, so I'm looking over down here. So now, anyway, so you can see the overall kind of condition about where it stands right now. And now let's zoom in a little bit. And let me look at the board here. Yeah, okay, so you can see that. So veterans all here, veterans and rifles down here. I think there's veterans up here. Yeah, so nice line here. It's kind of good defense, but there's some platoons up here, so they'll be able to get up here, fire on these guys, and maybe start taking these guys out, maybe work around. The Germans did get tanks here. So the Germans have a lot of things they can do. So I'm going to use my heavy and medium barrages. The U.S. and Germans both drew for assets. They were both down a turn. They started this turn rallying, getting some assets, and then we're going to start going from there. So I think the Germans are going to try to bombard this area here with a couple of their assets of medium and heavy barrage. We'll see how that works out for them. You have to be careful I don't hit my own dudes. But how fantastic would it be on their case to get some more suppression and stuff on these guys. So suppressed and shaken, they take more hits. They're doomed and suppressed. So there's a lot actually good here. They really, man. So they're hoping the barrages work. Now the problem is once they start moving and paying command, they're going to pay 1 each. I can always move one of the zeros down here. I might do that. I might put the 0 here actually, and then rally at some point. So I'll kind of wrap it up here. Oh, and the other thing that happened in this turn, the U.S. got their reinforcements and then moved all these guys up. So they're starting to make a pretty big, and that's a lot coming up here. So it'll be interesting to see how these. I broke up the Germans. I think I'm not going to break up the U.S. and we'll see how that works out. So I initially started by rallying these guys, and I forgot that if it's a red rally number, if you fail, you destroy it. So, and I can't afford to do that. So I don't imagine I'll roll that unless there's some way I can bump it up, maybe put a command marker on them and bump them up, and they have cover. So I'd put them up to a D20. So maybe it's worth doing it there. Come roll 2d20. Maybe I can get 18, but if you don't, you eliminate them, giving the German points and losing all your heavy firepower for your tanks. And now they have tanks on board. What was kind of cool though is you can see this huge stack here. They were all attacking this guy. Well, I would shoot some at the tanks down here, but I never did anything to this guy. I shot, so you can see I shot 1, 2, 3, 4. This guy had this on here, so he couldn't fire. So 4 guys fired on this guy down here to no result. This guy fired on them and got spent. This guy fired 3 times on this for each time. So that guy fired when he fired, and then fired. His final time he was able to fire, and then he went spent. He rolled fair, not even fantastic. I was rolling some incredible rolls, and people were just saving like crazy. Then it did this. That last fire shook him. We're going to say they fired that cannon there and it collapsed the building or something. I don't know what happened. They got shaken, unconfirmed kill, so he's out of the game. Because if I fail, unless I put the thing on him and he's in cover, so he might get a D20. I might actually try rolling him because otherwise he's useless. So you might as well roll him. This guy shook. And then these guys both roll great because if he would have done, he would have died. So awesome. I mean, they're just like peppering that building. And then finally, I think it just shook their nerve and it took them out. So there's such good narrative to this thing. Oh, so good. So good. Okay. So that's where we stand right now. Like I said, everything's playtest. Everything's still, not final work, not final art, not final scenario design. So far, I would say the scenario is pretty balanced. We'll see what happens when these Americans start moving in here. I might need to put my Germans back, but the Germans have to take some of these. That's what's so cool. The Germans have to take these back. I put them in a really bad position because it's a tough position, honestly. To that they are in right now and have to take these guys, take these back. The Germans can hold that back, and they need to eliminate some units. But you can see the VPs that. So if the Germans take one more back, that would go from 19 to 11. But they're going to, they really have to take 2 more back. And I don't think I have the movement. And they can keep advancing on these guys because they're not moving. Maybe with the tanks and support, they can take care of these guys. That might help because they just take 1 hit, they're out. So, but I have to take this. But I got this line of guys. We have reports that there's 2 companies coming around our flanks here. This could be bad. This could be really bad. Maybe these guys should maybe move to these areas here and cover this field. But I'd really rather have them in these buildings or something. Like they got to keep going through me. I could be in trouble having all these guys in squads. Oh, man. Okay. That's that. We'll let you go. Thanks all for watching, and we'll see you after the next turn or whatever happens next. And I really like this game. So let me show you. Let me show you what happens here. So you have this huge stack. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4 units because that guy was just broken. Firing on this guy. Well, every time they fired on this guy, the first guy fired. This guy fired back. Then I think he went spent. Then this guy rolled to kill him. And then he rolled morale. And then this guy rolled to shoot him. Nothing happened. Then the third guy went. There are 4 guys? Yeah. The third guy went. Same thing. Fire back. 4th guy went. Bam. Fire back. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 attack rolls, all in 1 attack. Now, maybe it doesn't happen over here, up here, when all through that, they got spent pretty quick because they rolled under that number. So remember, if it's a 3 in this, any of the dice is a 3 or less, he's spent and he can't fire anymore. These guys are 5, so I didn't necessarily spend them. So so it depends how the dice roll, but that's 8 shots. So that's 8. Doing the math, it's super easy math. Everything's easy. It just takes time. So I think that's why some people kind of soured on a little bit because there's so much going on. And to me, I didn't learn TCS very well, but to me, TCS is very similar. There's a lot of back and forth, and so the turns take a while. But it's just because there's a lot going on, and so it's fun because there's so much firing back and forth. But I can't believe how well I save saving throws here. It's just, I don't know if it's the dice or what, but it's crazy. Okay, let me get back to the screen. All right, everybody, it's been great. It's been fun. I'm having a good time, and we'll talk to you later. And hey, it's up for pre-order at GMT. Kai and Jason and others are working on it like crazy. We're playtesting, and there's a bunch of people playtesting, and that's that. All right, we'll talk to you later. And I really hope to get them on and interview them, Kai and Jason. Talk about fighting formations in general. Talk about some of the genesis for it. Talk about the differences on the 29th, the West Front versus the East Front, and then talk about the future of it. I'd love to get them on. I've kind of talked to them about it a little bit, but I wanted to get a play test in, get some more experience with it before I had them on. All right, that's that, and we'll talk to you later. Dig you guys and gals. I think the one woman that watches, 2 women that watch. Thanks a lot, and be sure to thumb up, subscribe, watch everything a million times. I need all the views I can get, and appreciate y'all. See you later. Bye.